The frozen seed is embedded at the bottom of the tower. Sungwoo finally reached it, but his hardships have not ended yet. A notification pops up informing him that he is being exposed to extreme cold and all of his physical stats have decreased by 70%. Sungwoo is sure that he is going to die at this rate. Just standing near the frozen seed is doing this much damage, and putting his hands on it would be a crazy thing to do. But it's also too late to back down, plus the Fire Spirit Stone should be able to offset the cold and deal a decisive blow. Sungwoo bets everything on the Fire Spirit Stone as he jumps toward the frozen seed. He keeps on pushing forward by unleashing the heat from the Fire Spirit Stone to block the cold waves emitting from the frozen seed. With each step, the cold keeps on drastically increasing. It's over if he freezes here, so he smashes the frozen seed with everything he got. The blast from the Fire Spirit Stone was enough to break apart the frozen seed. The frozen seed stopped working, and Sungwoo's resistance to cold improved by 2 points as he survived the extreme cold. He got the frozen seed as well, which was worth risking his life. Frozen seed is a special type orb. When owned for at least 100 days, the Yeti attribute is given, which increases cold resistance by 10%, and it reduces mana consumption when using Frost Realm magic by 80%. If it's installed on high ground, the user can manifest Ice Age within a certain area range. This item is truly underrated, and it will come handy one day. After dealing with the Ice Age problem, Sungwoo heads back to the prosecutor for more info on the Angel faction. Prosecutor informs him that there was something different about the stone statue that he had. It had 4 wings, and it only forced quests onto them that would profit the Angel faction. Moreover, they could not leave the faction even after breaking the statue. Prosecutor received a warning message which says that he committed a sin that cannot be cleansed. Soon the Angel Arbiter will descend. All players who have registered in the faction through that Angel Stone statue will be judged. Upon meeting the Angel Arbiter, all of their stats will decrease by 90%. On the day of descent, if they confess their sins by selecting 500 player sacrifices and offering them up, they can receive forgiveness. Prosecutor admits that Sungwoo was right from the start, and fooling around with the Absolute Tribes will end up in a fate far worse than the happy ending. Sungwoo tells the prosecutor that he needs to start growing an autonomous power, since it's not just the Angel faction that is targeting them, and prosecutor asks him if he is talking about the Devil faction. Sungwoo informs him that there are even more horrible things lurking in the dark, and he is thinking that the being called Creator, who watches everything from above, is the worst of all. Even if he manages to stop everything now, if he don't know what that being wants, then he will be playing things the way they want. At the same time, another exclusive quest pops up in front of Sungwoo with the title of Duty of Guarding 2. It's a guarding targets type quest. Its goal is to protect the candidates for judgment of the Angel faction. As a reward, he can choose between Rise in Divinity or Class Change Ticket. Its description states that the outer dimensional being known as the Absolute Tribe is going to descend in order to massacre the living creatures on this land. As the guardian of this land, Sungwoo has the duty to eliminate pressure from the outer dimension. If he interrupts the tribe's plan, he will be able to inflict a huge lose onto them. Sungwoo will fail if 80% or more candidates for judgment die. Upon eliminating the Angel Arbiter, additional rewards will be given. Sungwoo is thinking that it must be the second part of the same quest that popped up when the Hell's Dimension and Devil's Gateway opened up. If it's according to what the contents of the quest say, then it means even the Absolute Tribes are no different from monsters, so the term Guardian refers to those who protect this land without borrowing power from external beings. Sungwoo requests the prosecutor to gather as many people as possible with job classes that control water and fire. Sungwoo is thinking of gifting a nice waterfall to their uninvited guest. A few hours pass by as the Liberation Guild gathers everything that Sungwoo requested. Manhwa Recap informs the prosecutor that they have mobilized all water trucks and water tanks nearby. They have also filled the fire service helicopters with water. Manhwa Recap is curious, so she asks the prosecutor about the whereabouts of Sungwoo, as she don't even know why they have filled everything up with water. Prosecutor tells her that it is safer to not know the reason for now, as they belong to the Angel faction and information might leak. Prosecutor is thinking that if the Absolute Tribes are looking down on this land, then their best course of action would be to take advantage of human players. Being the weak ones, they have decided to fight against the Absolute Tribe, and if they keep being cautious, then they might have a small chance of winning. All human players look up at the dark clouds in the sky. The timer runs out and the prosecutor announces that their real fight is about to start. Huge bright rays of light pierce through the dark and dense clouds. The center of that light ray becomes even lighter as more time passes. Finally, a glimpse of the Angel Arbiter can be seen. A notification pops up informing the Angel faction members that the descent of the Angel Arbiter begins. All of their stats have decreased drastically by 90% due to the power of the Angel Arbiter. All human players are shocked to finally see the real physical form of an angel. Only the legs of the angel are human-like, other than that it looks more like a monster of a different kind. The Liberation Guild members are disheartened to know that the angel they believed in for so long is just another monster. Without wasting any time, the players start spraying water toward the angel. At the same time, the fire-type wizards start attacking the water with their fire-type spells. The water starts vaporizing due to being exposed to the intense heat of the fire magic attacks, and the angel calls out all sinner crawling the land to listen. Prosecutor has no idea about what Sungwoo is up to, but he is hoping that Sungwoo should do whatever he is thinking quickly because they don't have much time left. The Arbiter uses some sort of skill as he tells the sinners that today they stand at the end of their lives. Some of the low-level players can't handle the pressure as they die down without a fight. Gang Yunli has no idea as to what these players are dying to, so he tells everyone to fall back. But An Seok-gu orders them to keep on spurting water. Gang Yunli asks him about how long are they going to keep on doing it since everyone's just dying, but An Seok-gu informs him that this is their only option since running away against that being will not be useful at all. All of a sudden, some rocks are thrown at the angel. Using Shadow Swap skill, Sungwoo summons all of his skeletons below the angel, making a huge tower. Sungwoo, along with Jisoo Yoon and Hanho, welcome the Arbiter to their land. All three of them attack the Arbiter at the same time. Arbiter easily deflects their attack while saying, "Oh evil beings, you cannot measure up to me." While they are falling down, Sungwoo informs him that he is wrong, and they are not the ones who will be dealing with him. Sungwoo throws the frozen seed at the minion tower, saying that this guy will be your opponent. The frozen seed activates, which in turn drops the temperature significantly in the surrounding area, and a strong blizzard will strike the area. The Arbiter gets hit by a cold ice wave. The Liberation Guild members now know what Sungwoo was up to, and they keep on spraying water and vaporizing it using the fire spells. As the Arbiter is about to be engulfed by the frozen seed, he warns the evil being about how can he do this to him. In a few minutes, the angel completely gets frozen. A notification pops up informing everyone that frozen seed is active. It will bring ice age to the soul area. If they want to deactivate it, then they first need to detach it from the tower. Manhwa Seong asks if it is over, but Prosecutor informs him that it is not over yet. He furiously orders his guild members to keep on spraying water, or the Arbiter will break free. Sungwoo is thinking that he can win. He was only trying it out, but they have definitely locked up the movement of Arbiter. Sungwoo informs the Prosecutor that they will be able to defeat it right now in one go if they go all out right now, and Prosecutor orders the siege weapons to get ready to attack. He also mobilizes the containers with monster corpses, as they will mobilize all firepower in one blow and finish him off. In a few minutes, the preparations are complete and Sungwoo moves above the Arbiter using the Alpha Wyvern. Sungwoo dwells maximum number of demonic bombardment in his scythe. Before shooting, he tells the monster who pretends to be an angel that this is the end. With that being said, Sungwoo releases the demonic bombardment on the Arbiter, along with all the artillery fire and the corpse explosions in one go. This completely shatters the Arbiter, and Sungwoo earns 35 million gold coins for hunting down the Arbiter. Sungwoo has gained the title of an Angel Slayer. His magic resistance increased by 5 points. His immunity to fainting and electric shock increased by 10%. With this huge kill, Sungwoo leveled up to 23. And it's the first time Sungwoo leveled up since the Pirates and the Devil Cave incident. The biggest thing that he gained is the fact that even the absolute tribes are no different from monsters. It means that it is possible to kill the World Eater as well. Sungwoo completed the exclusive quest called Duty of Guarding 2. Through the additional condition of eliminating the Angel Arbiter, Sungwoo has selected a permanent rise in divinity as a reward. His divinity level has increased from level 1 to level 2. His divine Anubis form has leveled up to 2. Now he can acquire the power of Anubis by obtaining divinity for 1 hour and 30 minutes a day. All of his stats will increase by 15 points during his divine form activation. Sungwoo has been given 30 additional minutes and his stats have increased by 5, so now he won't have to be impatient due to his divine form time running out. All of a sudden, a new glowing item appears before Sungwoo. System informs him that an extra reward has been given as the additional condition of eliminating the Angel Arbiter has been satisfied for the exclusive quest. It's a special rank faction item called the Arbiter's Emblem. The one who possesses this emblem can designate members of the same faction as a candidate for judgment. It allows location tracking and it temporarily gives a 90% stats decrease. Its description says that it's a power that can be acquired through a special accomplishment. Sungwoo will receive a prominent role of maintaining regulations and public safety. Another notification pops up informing him that he has satisfied a certain condition. Lich One, who controls Death, plus Bihyung Hand Fan, which controls Ghosts, plus Arbiter's Emblem, which carries out Judgment, and just another Arbiter Emblem is required to fulfill this quest. Sungwoo was not expecting something like this to happen. If it's a reward that requires satisfying such tough conditions, then it is possible that it could be a new divinity. Sungwoo is still thinking about how much power he can gain from this new divinity. If he keeps on growing the faction, he will definitely get another opportunity to obtain the Arbiter's Emblem. The Liberation Guilds is in an uproar since their connection with the Angel faction has been cut off, and they have gained back their abilities. Their uproar comes to a halt when Manhwa Seong reminds them that they should get back to work since their powers are back. Sungwoo tries to raise the Arbiter as a minion, but he fails as System notifies him that a being from an outer dimension cannot be risen as bloodkin. The same thing happened when Sungwoo tried to raise the monsters from the Hell's Gate as his minions, but it seems like different rules apply to outer dimensional beings. But it's not like Sungwoo has not obtained anything from this battle. Sungwoo obtained an item called the Absolute Tribe's Bone. These bones have a lot of strength. It's harder than most metals, and it reacts to magic better than most mediums. He also obtained heroic rank Angel's Knuckle Polearm. It ignores the attack target's defense power by 10%. Its description says that it's an item made from bones of the Absolute Tribe Angel. And last but not least, he obtained a heroic rank full body armor called Angel's Rib Armor. It increases its wearer defense power by 30%, and it forms a shield with 20% of defense power. Its description says that it's a shield made from bones of the Absolute Tribe Angel. Sungwoo equips his minions with this full body armor and the polearms, increasing their defensive capabilities by leaps and bounds. Sungwoo asks his friends if they want him to make one set of armor for both of them, but they both have better weapons and armors as of now. This battle went smoothly because Mireo was asleep this whole time. At the same time, Prosecutor comes up to Sungwoo saying that he was wrong in choosing the Angel faction. They would not have known this truth until the very end of this game. He asks Sungwoo if they will be able to end this game, and Sungwoo replies with a yes. There are no games without an ending, so the ones who created it must have made it so that it's possible to finish it. Prosecutor asks that if it is not already too late, can he reach that ending with Sungwoo? Sungwoo shakes his hand, telling him to tag along. At the same time, the Griffin Rider arrives at the battle scene. Jisoo Yun and Han-ho wonder as if something might have happened for her to come here in person. Lee Yeon informs Sungwoo that players from America have arrived in Korea. Sungwoo, in frustration, asks if they have attacked the town, and Lee Yeon informs him that it is not the case, and they requested a meeting with the Necromancer. Sungwoo asks if it was this much simple, then why did you came here to meet me in such urgency, and Lee Yeon informs him that the Americans were attacked. They were all killed by someone. A battle ensued after the ship they came in suddenly exploded, and their Coast Guard saw the murderers running away. Sungwoo has no idea about what's going on and who can have the balls to attack the emissaries from America. Without wasting any time, Sungwoo heads back to Suwon town. Sungwoo asks Spearman Kyungsu about their contact with Americans, and Spearman Kirongsu says that their meeting was not official yet. And now it turned into a sensitive problem for diplomacy with the recent attack. He further informs Sungwoo that they have secured the scene so Sungwoo can go and have a look. While they move, Spearman Kyungsu informs him that there is news from China. It appears that Server 1 has conquered Server 2, and they have unified the entire country. Sungwoo is quiet pissed as the Emperor, who kept him in check through assassins and monsters, has finally unified the server. It adds to his tensions because once the Chinese server is stabilized, Sungwoo will become their next target. After some time they arrive at the crime scene. Han-ho is shocked to see that Americans rode this huge thing. It's used to be a huge ship with a unique design. Spearman Kyungsu informs them that it's a ship that sails the sky, not the sea, and it's better to call it a seaplane. All this time, the Americans were hiding in the clouds, but they crashed down here once the explosion occurred. Lieutenant Park, who was inspecting the scene, informs Sungwoo that they have found an empty circular space in every engine room, and he is assuming that it must be the place where they put the item that made the ship able to fly in the sky. They are not sure about its rank, but it's definitely a valuable item, and there is a possibility of the attackers stealing it. Spearman Kyungsu says that this must mean that there are more seaplanes like this somewhere, and Sungwoo is thinking that this is an organization that has developed differently from the Evolution Society, which focused on biology. It's more like Americans showing off that despite the fall, they are still at the top when it comes to technology. Sungwoo inspects the ship to find out that it's called Dwarf Third-Class Airship. Its rank is unknown and it's a player-manufactured item. It provides high-altitude flight and large-scale shield deployment. Its description says that it's a transport aircraft made with dwarf technology. Its length is 85 meters, and it can carry maximum load of 40 tons. It can carry 55 people at max, and its maximum speed is 35 knots, and its head of management is Jonathan Cage from Foreign Affairs Team Leader 1. The rest of the details are confidential. This item is a valuable possession of WPU, and unauthorized access can lead to unexpected death. Its current status says that it's completely destroyed and there is no power source installed. Jisoo Yoon says that there is a lot of stuff written about it, and Hanho says that if they lay their hands on it, they will probably be taken away by guys in black suits. Seungwoo is thinking that it's hard to say if things are stable now, and yet this organization is still particular about positions and such formalities. According to his past experiences, he doubts that they will be proper gentlemen. Lieutenant Kim informs Seungwoo that there are a total of 42 dead bodies found on the ship, seeing that there are no traces of infiltration no matter how much they look for them, and he assumes that a revolt might have started from the inside. The damage to the corpses is too severe to resurrect them as undead, and any possibility of finding out what happened through memory fragments is long gone. Spearman Kyungsoo says that they came from a really far place, and they definitely would not have enemies in the Korean server, and the attackers made it difficult to assume their identity. He suspects that this can be the result of a civil war. Spearman Kyungsoo further says that there must be some strife between the American players, and they have made it impossible to find out who killed who. All of a sudden, Jisoo Yoon senses something and she shouts at Seungwoo to evacuate the people. Seungwoo orders everyone to quickly get off the seaplane. Jisoo Yoon informs Seungwoo that she can feel small but frequent movements coming from a spot inside the cabin. On closer inspection, they turned out to be bugs. They are packed inside boxes like a booby trap. The rank of these boxes is unknown and they are called player killer box, and they have deadly poison bugs inside. It's a player manufactured item. If a player approaches it within a 5-meter distance, the box opens up and 3,000 deadly poison bugs are freed. Regardless of the defensive power, the player will die after getting stung 10 times. Seungwoo says that this is the worst gift he ever had, and he orders his minions to bring it up. Jisoo Yoon is quite pissed, and if she had noticed it a bit too late, then a lot of people here would have died. Seungwoo orders Spearman Kyungsoo to find a white werewolf through the Hunter Company. The White Werewolf Beast Man was one of the Evolution Society's leader. With his psychometry, which reads memories of objects, they will be able to find out some kind of information. Since it's a gift that has not been opened yet, then they need to return it as it is to its owner, in a secret facility somewhere in an unknown place. Someone just opens up his eyes as his captive calls him Johnny. It's time to get a grip, man. As Johnny wakes up confined in ropes, he asks Parker about where he is, and Parker says that he never thought Central Park's hero can look this miserable. Parker is the subordinate of Johnny and he asks Parker if he has betrayed him. Parker says that it's possible only if we have been on the same side at one point, but we have never shared our heart with you guys in the first place, and this is a spectacular operation targeting hostile forces following the espionage battle. He don't know for what reason Chairman Love wants to maintain a good relationship with a clown in a small land, but Admiral Baker has a different opinion. These days he is very interested in decorating Oriental gardens. Johnny gets the impression that Parker is trying to get the world tree. Parker confirms this suspicion and Johnny starts to think that these guys are crazy. Chairman Love thinks very highly of South Korea's hero value. The Necromancer is a man who fought against the absolute tribes, unlike others who tried to follow them. Chairman Love said that the Necromancer will be a key figure in rebuilding humanity. Johnny asks Parker if Admiral William Baker is planning to make another unnecessary sacrifice, and that sacrifice is going to be Parker. Parker says that you saw it, that horrible tree's shape, it's a weapon for mass destruction. It's a monster which we don't know when and how it's going to grow and destroy Washington City. He further informs his friend that they have always stopped future disasters. This tree is a potential threat, which can cause harm to the Central Order of America.